steady. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do actually, because the quality of the applause could be better. Could be better. I think we could have even more excitement and energy. So what I'd like you to do is everybody on this side of this post, I'd like you to go woo! Right, and everybody on this side of this post, up to about there, up to about sort of that angle there, I'd like you to go yeah! Yeah! And everybody on that side of the post, I'd like you to go, I'd like you to improvise. That sounds like a horse over there. Actually, I'd like you to say, come on! That's what I'd like to say. You ready? So, on the count of three, I want you to say, woo! And I want you to go, yeah! And I want you to say, come on! And then we'll have the next act on. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! William Pointing, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. This is a little bit nerve-wracking actually. It is actually. With these lights in my face, I do actually feel a bit blind. Funnily enough, it reminds me of a blind date I had, where I was actually in Thailand, and let's just say my contact lenses fell out. And I learned a valuable lesson: never go to Thailand on a blind date. Your contact lenses are falling out, because there's a big chance that ping pong will actually be big dong. Yeah. But no, I tell you what, I actually find talking to women in a kind of outside supermarket situation, I don't know, I just find it really nerve-wracking. You know, it's just, you don't know, what do you say? It is difficult to know what to say, particularly, if you're single. But I don't know, I always find it's quite similar to stand-up in the fact that you're constantly thinking, have I pissed myself? And if I do in the next 5 minutes, can you let me know just very discreetly? Just give me 2 taps above the waist, just there. Thank you. No, it's terribly nerve-wracking, but I'll tell you what, I've got a friend called Louis, and he's an American friend, and he's kind of crossed between the Fonz out of Happy Days. He's like, hey, how you doing? And Grease, you know, the guy from Grease, John Travolta. So he's so confident with women. Literally, whenever we go out, he'll pick up 2 girls. He'll walk along, have 2 girls on either arm. He's absolutely incredible with women. So I said to him the other day, I said, Louis, how do you do it? And he goes, they will. You want to get with the girls, it's easy. You've got to follow the 4 rules. You follow the 4 rules, you'll get laid every time, my friend, every time. Okay? So I said, well, what's the first rule? He goes, rule 1, always be a hero. Women love a hero. So I went to a date and I put on a Batman outfit. You know, I thought I was going to look like a kind of cool comic book hero, but I think in her eyes I looked more like a comic book geek. So it didn't go down well. And then somehow I tripped over my laces and landed in a lap. And she left. And but the thing that I wasn't upset about that, I was actually more upset that she missed my roads at the bus stop. I put out a fire at the bus stop. Mind you, it was my cake being lit by a gang of rude boys, but no, I did put out a fire. But no, Louis said, rule 2, always mimic their actions, always mimic their actions. So I was on a date a couple of weeks ago, and I'm in a quite a trendy bar. It's quite trendy, and we're sitting opposite each other. And I notice, as we're talking, she starts to play with her hair. So I start to play with my hair as well, and she kind of gives me this kind of weird facial tip, kind of like. So I kind of go, and the next thing I know, she excused herself to go to the toilet. So I excuse myself to go to the toilet. Anyway, about 2 minutes later, I'm washing my hands in the lavatory, and she's looking at me with complete disgust. I was in the ladies' toilets. Yeah, and then she called the police. But anyway, rule 3, Louis says, always tease women. Women love to be teased. So, I was on a date with a girl with a, shall we say, quite a defined nose. It was a massive hooter, basically, but it was a big nose. And she said to me, we're talking away, and I thought it'd be funny, every time I asked her a question, to point out that she had that she might be lying, and her nose might be growing that little bit much. So, I'm kind of, every time she says something, I go, after about 30 minutes of me just talking and her being completely silent, I thought this has gone terribly wrong, terribly wrong. And she kind of looked at me and she said to me, Will, I've had an amazing time tonight. I've really enjoyed myself. And I was like, really? And she just went, it wasn't good. But no, final rule, we said, rule 4, never go out with a girl from the suburbs. Just don't do it. that is actually quite difficult for me because I live in Bromley in Kent. Is anyone here from like Essex or the suburbs? No? Yeah? A couple of people over there? No, it's basically like Essex, and I suppose if a tourist went to Bromley, they'd probably say, the sky is blue, the grass is green, the women are orange. Seriously, if I had a sunbed in my room, and possibly a year's subscription to Hello, I'd have a queue of women queuing up to get in. But I don't have that kind of money, I'm pretty skint, and when you do a lot of free gigs, you survive on tap water, so it's difficult. But no, Louis said to me, he goes, hey, if you mess up the 4 walls, you know what you gotta do? You gotta try Second Life. I was like, well, what's Second Life? He goes, basically it's a virtual reality. It's basically like life, but on a computer. So I was like, okay, I'll try it, have a go. So anyway, I was on it last night. Has anyone been on Second Life before? It's probably something you wouldn't admit to, but I went on it last night, and I kind of logged on, and I met this girl. She looked quite attractive in a kind of cartoon sort of way. And you know, we're getting on well, so we decided to go for a walk, which is Alt.W, in a park, Alt.P. And in this park we find a bench, an Alt.B. So we sit down on this bench and we're chatting away, and I decided to do a kiss, an Alt.K. So anyway, we're kissing away, we're getting on really well, and I made a risk. I did a risk, to be honest, I took a risk. I decided to Alt.F her in an Alt.A. Then she locked out. And I'm banned from Second Life, so I guess I'm stuck here for the foreseeable future. Anyway, I can see there's a foot coming on stage, so you've been great. Thanks a lot.